one thing that we don't understand as Black Americans is that why everybody always talking about us, even when we're not in the room. We know the white supremacists talk about us like all day long. We get that.
Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
At African Diaspora News Channel, we cover stories that don't receive mainstream attention, and we serve as the voice to the global Black community.
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
So, Black people in Baton Rouge, Louisiana are going to be a lot safer, and I'm going to tell you why.
Residents in the Bukav area are worried and fear being priced out of their own neighborhood.
This Black father made a point of teaching his sons a lesson about stealing.
Russia is showing results.
Things are getting thick for the global north.
A woman killed by her Somalian refugee boyfriend in suspected honor killing.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media, connecting the African diaspora one story at a time.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
The social construct is broken.
Highest incarcerated rate on the planet. That's our people.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Algeria is demanding for justice to be served, and this is in regards to the French colonial era wrongdoing. Algerian president said, quote, Algeria suffered a crackdown on its independent activities. This marked the start of independence movements across former colonial empires. Ceremonies were being held in Algiers to honor the demonstrators who took the streets to call for freedom from French rule. Algerian president said, quote, on this day we are remembering the massacres of May 8, 1945, committed by the colonizer with extreme brutality and cruelty to repress a growing national activist movement that had resulted in massive demonstrations, end quote. He also added, the issue of historical memory will remain at the center of Algeria concerns until it enjoys an objective treatment that pays justice to historical truth, end quote. It's only right that France apologizes and gives reparations to Algeria as well as African countries that they have colonized. They are still yet to apologize. Reparation is something that Africans don't even think about because no one expects them to do that. Although Ghana has been involved in many of the conversations when it comes to reparations and colonization.
Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo on Tuesday called for a united front with African leaders on demands for reparations for transatlantic slavery and colonial-era damages. Some Western leaders have recently moved to acknowledge the wrongs of the colonial era in Africa, and museums have begun returning stolen African treasures and artifacts.
No amount of money can restore the damage caused by the transatlantic slave trade and its consequences, which will span many centuries. But surely, this is a matter that the world must confront and can no longer ignore.
Ghana's leader has been vocal in calling for reparations and used a speech to the UN General Assembly this year to demand for more acknowledgement of the impact of colonial exploitation.
Even before these discussions on reparations conclude, the entire continent of Africa deserves a formal apology from the European nations involved in the slave trade.
Akufo-Addo called on Africa to work together with the Caribbean to advance reparations, labeling it valid demand for justice.
But most African countries don't even bring it up. So the president of Algeria saying this clearly indicates that he will be bringing this conversation up when he travels to France, and we shall see what President Macron will say. Although not a lot of people believe that France will acknowledge what they have done in these countries. Anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about this. I am Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the